I say, oh, I need to remember that I said that,
Yeah.
or whatever. But because then people say, well, he has contradicted himself. But I don't know. I'm sure I won't. But anyway, back to Hollywood and the movie, and then we chipped away at it. And now it just, as Hollywood is in absolute dire straits right now, because people, no matter what messaging you put out, it's not landing well.
Yeah.
It's like people want to be entertained instead of being lectured or having some sort of ideology like forced on them. And Star Wars is a good example. But
yeah. Let me ask you this: did you ever see that movie Warfare about the Navy SEALs
I
in
did
Ramadi?
No, I haven't seen it.
I would encourage you to, if you've got some downtime at some point, watch the movie Warfare. It was actually, it was produced and directed by a Navy SEAL. I think the Navy SEAL that was directing it or in charge of that was a guy that did fight in Ramadi.
Right.
And so they did a very, very good job of telling the story that happened. There's none of that like pushing a narrative, none of that stuff. It's just like, here's what happens. This is the gritty nature of this event. And a bunch of young guys, young SEALs. I mean, they're all actors, obviously, in the movie, but like, portraying SEALs in Ramadi. And I think can't remember what year the video is or the movie was supposed to be like set in, but I think it's like 2006, 2007.
Right.
That's like when Ramadi was really bad, was 2006. But very good film. I actually had an opportunity to sit down with one of the actors from the film in LA a couple weeks back. By the time this comes out, it'll have been a while, but yeah, they even like the one guy I talked to is like, we felt a significant obligation to be a conduit to tell their stories in the way that they would have wanted the story to be told. And they worked with guys that were in that specific event, that time, to make sure that they were being as close to accurate as possible for like the situation. And it was just very well done. It's completely different from what your typical Hollywood film is. And I mean, like, we used to have really good, movies like war movies. I don't know how big you are on like war movies or war series. I mean, I've been like, one of the things I kind of grew up on was like, I was a kid, I watched that movie Saving Private Ryan, very popular Spielberg film. Watched the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, very, very well done with Steven Spielberg. Tom Hanks helped direct it and produce it. And then there was another miniseries, HBO miniseries called The Pacific, which was based on the island hopping campaign in World War II that the Marines were conducting. It kind of, the focus was mostly on the Marines in the Pacific, and they did a very good job of storytelling with that and portraying things as they were, not as somebody would want them to appear to be. You know what I mean? And so they get it right occasionally. I think society as a whole is getting to a point where they've become fatigued with what you're talking about.